Hey guys! Today's video is for you guys. I have so many new wonderful friends that have subscribed to the channel, so thank you for being here. Thank you to all the other ones who have been here with me for quite some time sharing about the homesteading. So today I thought I would talk and share with you all the things that I kind of do during a typical summer day, what we're doing outside. I spend very minimal time in the house, except for basically to scrounge together meals for everybody and then get back outside to enjoy our very short season of summertime. Plus, this is the time where we need to work really hard growing all of our food. We raise and grow gardening and animals, 80% of our own food. So we have a short amount of time to get a lot of stuff done here in northern Michigan. But with that short season brings in other seasons, and they swing shift very quick. And it's kind of fun though, because there's always something new with the weather or new or different going on. And then you work really hard during the summer, and then you can kind of take a little bit of a slow down ish during the winter's time. So it's kind of fun though. So having the extreme four seasons is actually, you have to look at it as a bonus and something lovely instead of being like, oh, I'm stuck in the house. So you just kind of have these seasons where you just enjoy each one in particular. So I do a lot of herbs for medicinal, not so much for culinary, but yes, I do have culinary stuff, but a lot is for medicine that I use tinctures or salves for. And just, I have just learned over the last several years how amazing these things that are considered weeds, or some are on purpose that you plant here, or we go foraging for things, and just how much they can heal. I mean, they can actually heal, some can heal bones and sprains and, muscle pulls like comfrey. Lavender just sounds, it just smells so good. That's what I was cutting in the very first part, that purple. I absolutely love the smell of it. I don't really do too much with lavender. Of course, you could do tea and stuff like that with it, but I really like the just the smell of it and having it around. And I put a couple sprigs in whenever someone buys my lavender soap, because why not? That's fun. So now we're in the herb garden as well, and we have this. You can see all the wood chips around, which I still need to do a lot of spreading out. But we had this horrible ice storm that basically sheared all of our treetops off, so we have a massive amount of trees down everywhere. You can look on my channel. Those are my most popular videos, when I was taking daily videos of like just how horrendous it was and how devastating it was. But when life gives you an ice storm, you make wood chips, and we have lots and lots of wood chips. So, which is great. It's just amazing to be able to have all these wood chips going into the gardens and in the herb garden to help with the weeds and stuff like that. So I was just picking some poppy. Poppy is really good for headaches. A friend told me about, and it works really well. So I use a tincture out of that. And I was cutting more. Oh, let's see, what else was I cutting? I was cutting mint. Gosh, gotta love mint. That works really good for stomach issues, and we make a lot of teas out of it. It helps really good with immune. So you can see I'm just kind of shoveling around a little bit at a time, because the heat gets a little much, and then you're like, that's a really hard job to do. So I'm just kind of throwing it wherever I know. Got to clear out those paths. A lot of the herbs, which are wonderful because you can't get rid of them, but they go into your pathways and they really take over a lot of the areas. So I'm hoping like several inches of wood chips will go ahead and help kind of compact, keep them at bay a little bit anyways. But it's kind of fun because they pop up and they spread everywhere, and then you find them at the complete another area. Like, where did what happened there? But I love my herb garden. It's one of my favorite places to hang out in. So you can see I still have piles everywhere. And then I spotted some echinacea. So I pick the heads when they start coming. Some people say, you can do the roots, you can do the leaves. I like to pick the whole head off, and then I'll use the petals in tea during the winter for great immune boosting type of things. And then over here, I'm cutting some more stuff. Oh, I can't see what it is actually. Wherever I can find. And then I think I'll show you some St. John's wort, and that is good for mood and tinctures. I'm not a doctor, by the way. I'm not giving anybody advice. This is just what I do. And you can tell when it's time to pick the St. John's wort when you smush the little petals before they start to bloom and they turn purple. And that's how you can identify correctly that it is a St. John's wort. So I'm just kind of picking And showing you that that's a little, you can smush it a little purple, kind of gets stuck in my nail. Do you guys do any herbs, culinary or for medicine? And what's your favorite? You can comment below if you'd like to share. It's so amazing how many different herbs are out there that you can do so many different things with. It's really cool. Let's see what other shenanigans we can get into. Oh, I'm going to cut some more lavender. I just got to smell it. I just have to smell it. It just smells so good. You can just literally just wave your hand over it and then it's so oily. There's so many essential oils in lavender that it just comes right onto your skin and you can just kind of partake in the beautiful smell. I have a sign there in the corner that says Strawberry Fields Forever because I used to be a complete fanatic about the Beatles when I was 18 to 20. They came out with anthologies and everything like that. I think that was one. Oh gosh, I probably just dated myself. Whoopsie. I think I was younger. I'm not sure. Oh, maybe I was like only 5. I don't know. Just kidding. But here I'm just going to go ahead and all the stuff that I trimmed up that day, I'm just going to get them into the sun just to kind of dry out. There was some dew on them still, and just get them to dry out. And then eventually I will bring them in the house, and you can start to dry them anyway. Really, you can put them on like the cookie cooling racks so that it gets the airflow under both of them, and or on all the different sides. Sorry about that. I just had a text message come through. What great timing. Then, or I put them in the dehydrator eventually because I really like to make sure that they're getting fully dehydrated before I put them away. Or some of them I will go ahead and just start putting right into a tincture. Like I know I need to make a poppy tincture, so I'm going to do the folk method, which is just basically taking your herb, cutting it up, and then putting it in a jar, covering it with like vodka. I get organic vodka, but you can pick anything. And then I found in my kiwi and grape area, there's a lot of oregano. And I will let that dry off, and you just simply run your fingers down the whole entire stem and then store that into a jar, and that I will use culinary. But look at that beautiful color. So there's some pink yarrow. It's like a pink purplish yarrow. Typically it is white in the wild and stuff. I bought some seeds, probably from Baker Creek or Siskiyou seeds, and planted them just so I could have just some beautiful coloring. So yarrow is actually known as an anticoagulant. So if you have bleeding, not deep wound bleeding, but just like, typical cut or something like that, you can actually take the leaves, chew it up, make it into a poultice, and put it right on there, and it really stops the bleeding. And so you can also tincture that as well, and then you could spray it on, or you could do a salve as well and rub it on depending on, what it is. The alcohol might give you a little woo, baby, but it works. So now I am done with my herbs, and I need to get out to the garden. And today's was really pruning up all of our tomato plants, which I have probably about 225 to 250. I kind of lost track. I start them all indoors on seed, and then I lose track because some seeds get duplicated in the little pot. So then I just do a whole bunch. So today I needed to just go ahead and trim these bad boys. They have been doing so fantastic this year. I'm just so thrilled. There's actually a bunch of tomatoes on a lot of them. There's lots of blooms coming. The greens look good. If I found a couple diseased plants that were small and struggling, perhaps it's blight. Totally happens all the time. I just pulled those right out. I'm like, I'm not even going to deal with you. Forget it. If you do have blight and you want to save or at least slow it down, you can spray copper spray. So you can just, get copper and then spray it. And it's supposed to kind of like stop the spreading of the blight spores and stuff. So I've already actually saw it a little bit. So I sprayed it because last year it got really bad because we had a lot of rain, and I didn't want to take a chance. So I sprayed them already once because I just want this stuff to work out. We are low in our coffers, and I want to stock up the pantry. So it's really important that we work really hard to get everything done. So when I'm trimming the tomatoes, I just kind of trim 3 to 5 limbs off per time. Anything that's towards the bottom or any of the suckers, just to get rid of them, to concentrate into the plant and basically the blooms and the fruit. So now I need to hill up the potatoes as well. So just constantly hilling these up so it's not like all of a sudden the potatoes are at the surface and I need to get a bunch of dirt on them. So my son came up with this really great design where it's I'll link a video to it below, but it's a DIY weeding tool that just worked out really good, and it keeps the soil soft in between those rows there so that I'm able to just kind of go in and keep covering up the potatoes, like every other week or something like that, just to make sure that they stay covered. If not, the sun will turn the potatoes green, which causes solanine, and then too much of that green is, I don't know how toxic they say it's toxic, so why even take a chance? So we're just out there working, and it feels good to work. I like it. And this year I feel so much better. Last year I had a bit of a health issue, so this year it's just I feel on fire, baby, and I like it. I like it a lot. So here's that self-seeding salad hoop house that I've got going on. A lot of the cilantro has gone to seed, so I'm just kind of ripping them off. And some of the bottom stuff will still grow for me, but I don't need that much cilantro, so it gets a little out of control. And cutting some lettuce in the hoop house. I have a lot of lettuce in the back garden as well that has done a really great job, which I thought was tall seeds. Apparently it was lettuce seeds. And that was my fault. But now I have lots of lettuce. So just kind of pulling stuff out. I also have a lemon tree in there that you can see behind me. There's a black thing, excuse me, a black container. And that actually is a lemon tree from 2 lemon seeds that I saved from organic lemon from the store and planted them. Now let's go see the piggies. Got to check on everybody. It's really warm. I want to make sure everyone has their water and that they're doing good. This is Wilbur, our stud muffin, our stud pig that has helped Blondie get reproduced. So he's Wilbur. He's here for a little bit of time to do his job, and I think we're going to see if we can find him a new home because we are getting out of control with our pork, so we got to slow it down a little bit. So here's all our other little Juliana Kuni mixes. These guys were born here last year, so they're about a year old now, and they're just chilling. So I was just making sure that they had a wallow, that they had water, and of course we got to come say hi to them, right? So yep, I think that's, no offense, Fat Boy or Fat Boy's brother. This is Hazel. She is actually my mascot for my junior cooking club that I have online. And so all the kiddos can have Hazel come along, and all the modulos and the videos and stuff, and, talk to her and say hi to her. So we decided to keep her as a pet. And I'm going to work with her and hopefully get her to follow me around the farm. I think best way to train a pig is with marshmallows. So that's Hazel. She looks like she actually needs to get up and start walking around the farm, right? Hey, Hazel. And then this back here is the Chaos Garden. And this is one of our favorite gardens because I literally just had a bunch of old seeds. We had that little area tilled up, and we just toss and throw and barely cover anything up and just stamp on it and just kind of see what grows. And it's doing such a great job. There's dill in there. There's actually some broccoli plants that are in there. There's all kinds of squashes and pumpkins and some weeds, of course, along the line, like bitter dock. That was a weed. But that is fun to do, and it actually works out really good. Kids are wondering why we just don't do that with all the gardens. I'm like, well, questioning that as well. And then there's a little mushroom bed of some wine caps that hopefully will give us some in the fall, if not maybe next spring. So I do have it fenced in for dogs. And the bunnies can get through we don't have a whole lot of bunnies, so hopefully they just stay away, people. And yep, it's doing good. And then so here is the back garden. Early in the morning before the sun hits it, I like to come out and check for slugs because they tend to go underneath the wood chips when the sun starts hitting. So I'll come out here just to kind of take a look at everything, make sure everything's doing good. But yeah, this back garden too, we have overwintered our pigs in both the front and the back gardens, and they literally direct deposited all their fertilizer, and it worked. It has, well, I can't say extremely worked yet because I haven't harvested, but so far it has done a phenomenal job. So it's really, really exciting. So lots of fun broccoli and cabbage And the purple cabbage actually gets a little nibbled on, but that green cabbage, it gets nibbled on quite a bit. So I may do more purple next year than green just because it's just not getting, eaten on so much. And this is my famous purple potted pole bean trellis. All the people in northern Michigan know. No, I'm just kidding, not all, but anybody in my circle, there's a lot of people that have come and done garden tours and garden classes, and I sell the beans on my Etsy shop and I give them away to whoever I possibly can. And those are pole beans, so they grow as much space as you give them, basically. So that's that. There's that lettuce right there, which I thought was Tulsi, so I have to replant that, obviously. But the lettuce looks good. So it works really good to have. Those are hog and cattle panels that help with the pole beans. Now, if you had bush beans, you do not need to do that. So if you have a pole bean, you give them more space and you maximize the harvest on each little seed, can give you so much more because they grow and grow and grow. So that's fun. But my son, who came up with the weeding tool, also came up with this. I mean, other people might have, but I've never seen it. He literally just took a stick, all those branches from the ice storm. We've got plenty of them, but everyone does. Puts it in the ground. He did tie it up a little bit just to give some support, but look at the beans are just crawling up that too. So what a great frugal way, free way to grow your pole beans without having to invest in the cattle or hog panels. And they're 16 feet long, so you got to bring, get a truck with a trailer and stuff like that. And then we have to go check on our baby chicks. So we only have a couple out here right now. We hatched them in the house, actually, in an incubator from our rooster and chickens that we have here. So they're quite a mixed breed. So there's Barred Rock and Jersey Giant, and there's a red one. Of course, now I forget, but they're doing good. So warmth, water, food. They are about probably only a day old there. Aren't they so cute and little? Look at this little white little on his head. There's another one that has white on his bum. So they're going after some pieces of dark wood chip, actually. But I like to throw in oregano because that's really healthy for them. And I like to throw in some sod and some dirt and some other weeds because there's so many good microbes and probiotics that are in and microorganisms that are in the soil, so they can pick through it and make them, and it actually makes them healthier, much healthier than just leaving them like in cement. So they'll be in here for, I don't know, a week or two, and then we'll put them in the chicken tractors along with our meat birds. And we gotta go check on the bees. And there's always laundry to be hung up. So we're actually using a big stump and then that type of, my laundry looks pitiful, but hey, life, baby, it's life. That's a big beach blanket that we take. Anyways, we just put it in there, hang it. Now just to say goodbye, thank you for being here. I would love if you leave a comment if you found anything lovely about my whole conversation or anything, or what you would like to hear more. So thanks for being here with me, friends.